For decades, there's been a massive, unsolved problem sitting right at the heart of our national defense. A problem so tough, nobody's cracked it. Well, today, we're not just going to talk about that problem. We're going to pull back the curtain on the revolutionary AI that was built to finally solve it.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll lay out exactly what this high-stakes problem is. Then, we'll see why everything we've tried so far has failed. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, the AI solution, how its brain works, the incredible effect that makes it so decisive, and finally, the big picture vision for the future of defense.
So let's get our heads around this challenge. And I'm not just talking about something that's kind of difficult. The scale and, more importantly, the speed we're dealing with here are just mind-bending.
Okay, this is the core of it. An adversary isn't going to be nice and just launch one missile at you. No way. They're going to launch a massive cloud of junk to confuse you. We're talking one real warhead hidden inside a swarm of up to 100 decoys. Think balloons, chuff, things designed to look real, all to overwhelm our sensors. And here's the kicker. You have 60 seconds. That's it. From the moment that cloud of objects is detected, the clock starts ticking. You have 1 single minute to find the real threat and take it out.
And just to make it basically impossible, every single one of those 100 objects is screaming through the atmosphere at over 15,000 miles per hour, hypersonic speed. So let that sink in. 100 things moving faster than you can blink, and you have 60 seconds to find the one real needle in that haystack. This right here is defense's biggest unsolved problem.
So you might be asking, why haven't we figured this out? It's a fair question. Let's take a look at why the tools we're using today are just completely outmatched by this threat.
This table really says it all. You try to use physics, analyzing radar signatures to figure out what's what. That takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We only have one. Okay, what about a rule-based system? Too simple. An adversary can easily build decoys that trick the rules. And a person? A human operator? Absolutely no chance. You can't process that much data that fast. Every single method we have today fails.
So this is where we have to have a fundamental shift in thinking. When every tool in your toolbox is broken, you need a new one. AI isn't just a cool upgrade here. It is literally the only way forward. So what makes AI the secret weapon? Well, for starters, it can look at millions of data points from all the sensors at the exact same time. It can also learn new enemy tricks in real time. And maybe most important, it doesn't just give you a yes or no answer, it gives you a probability, a confidence score, so you can make a much smarter decision. It thinks at the speed of the attack.
All right, so how does this AI actually think? Let's pop the hood and look inside the brain of this system, which is called TheWarden. Its power comes from a really clever architecture that uses 6 different AI streams, all running in parallel. Now, that word parallel is everything. This isn't a slow step-by-step process. It's 6 specialized AI brains, all looking at that threat cloud from totally different angles, all at the exact same time. That's where the incredible speed comes from. Let's take the first one, the spectral AI. Think of it like a materials expert. It's looking at the light and the heat coming off of every object. A cheap balloon decoy gives off a totally different energy signature than a dense, complex warhead. And while that's happening, the trajectory AI is playing the role of a physicist. It knows that decoys just coast through the air, but a real warhead might make tiny, almost invisible course corrections. It's hunting for that telltale sign of an engine. Now, each one of those AI streams is giving you a piece of the puzzle, but on its own, none of them can be 100% sure. And this is where the real magic happens. It's something we call the compound intelligence effect. Just think of it as a 2 + 2 = 5 effect. You take a few different streams of uncertain information, a couple of maybes, and when you fuse them together, you get a single conclusion that's way more certain than any of the individual parts were. So let's look at a real example. The spectral AI might be only 70% confident that it's seeing the warhead. The trajectory AI is even less sure, only 60%. And the historical AI might recognize the attack pattern with 80% confidence. But listen, you're not going to launch a multi-million-dollar interceptor based on any one of those. It's just not certain enough. But remember that 6th AI stream, the synthesis AI? Its entire job is to listen to all the other streams, weigh their individual confidence, and fuse all of their analyses together in real time to make the final call.
And boom, look at that. By combining all those uncertain inputs, the system spits out a synthesized confidence level of 95%. It just went from uncertain to decisive. That is the 2 + 2 = 5 effect in action, turning a giant question mark into an actionable answer in milliseconds.
So the advantage you get here is just staggering. We're talking about a decision made in under a second. That's a 30 times speed advantage over the old ways. You've got an AI that learns and gets smarter on its own. And most importantly, this isn't some science fiction idea. It's based on technology that's already been proven to work.
So let's just pull the camera back for a second and look at the huge strategic shift this all represents. This really is a whole new way of looking at national defense.
Think about all those satellites that companies like SpaceX are launching into orbit. Thousands of them. You can think of them as the eyes of our defense system. They're up there, constantly scanning, constantly collecting just enormous amounts of data every single second.
But all that data is just noise if you can't understand it. This AI system, TheWarden, that's the brain. It's the cognitive engine that takes everything the eyes are seeing and in an instant figures out what it means and tells you what to shoot.
And here is the single most important takeaway. Having the best eyes in the world is completely useless if you can't think fast enough to act on what you're seeing. The brain is what makes the eyes powerful.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought. The real advantage in defense isn't just about seeing the threat anymore. It's about understanding that threat and making a decision faster than your adversary can act. The question isn't about having better vision, it's about having a faster brain.